A single photograph of a UFO image becoming the center of a mystery that's been lasting for decades. It's known as the Cote UFO photo, an official government image from 1971 with a chain of custody. And it's now the subject of a documentary created by director Adam Pillen from the Detroit area, and the film premieres on September 4th. Adam is with us now, along with cinematographer Darren Clark. Thank you guys so much for being here.
Hello, thank you for having us.
So tell us a little bit about the Cote photo, when it was first taken and discovered, and your reaction to the photo when you first learned about it.
Absolutely. In 1971 in Costa Rica, during an aerial mapping expedition conducted by the Costa Rican government, supported by the U.S. government and funded by the U.S. government, they caught a mysterious silver disc on a high-resolution piece of film, and that photo became known as the Cote photo. And it's a very interesting piece of photography, and it has a very good chain of custody. So it's been in the archives of the Costa Rican government, and it's been researched by some of the top UFO researchers of all time.
Okay, talk to me a little bit about when you first learned about the Cote photo and how we got to the point here where we're making a documentary about it.
My wife went to Costa Rica to visit a friend, and she lives in this pink house across from the Arenal volcano, which is right near Lake Cote, where the photo was taken. And while she was on that vacation, Kelly, her friend, told her about her own UFO experience, about seeing a disc in the sky above the volcano, and this captivated my wife. And she also had a copy of the photo hanging on her wall. And when my wife came home from that trip, she's like, we have to make a documentary about this. This is such an amazing story. And I didn't know it existed until I went there, but it was so captivating to her. She came home and she was like, we're making a documentary about this.
And the rest is history, right?
And so we did.
So talk to us a little bit about what people can expect when they come out to see the movie, or they sit at home and watch the movie.
Well, you'll get a good look at the technical aspects of the photo. We investigate the photo and its photographic evidence, but we also dive into the connections that people have with the photo. And they tell us some very interesting stories about their own personal experiences with the phenomenon.
Now, this comes out on September 4th, as we said. Where can people watch this?
They'll be seeing it on Apple, they'll be seeing it on Amazon, they'll be seeing it on our own personal website, the Cote photo. And it'll make its way around the different streaming services, and I would love it if they went and watched it.
Okay, perfect. Now, Darren, if you could talk to us a little bit as a cinematographer, how you approached this film in making this.
So we more so tried to just focus on, well, I guess my job would be the second unit director. So basically I was more so in charge of filming some of the B-roll scenes that you'll see, the congressional hearings that we filmed, or that was filmed. So yeah, we just tried to make it to where there's a relationship more so than just in Costa Rica that people have with this photo. I mean, it's gone up the chain to a lot of places, so.
Yeah, okay. What makes this photo in particular stand apart? I mean, I feel like we always hear people on social media saying, oh, I saw something interesting in the sky. What makes this photo so credible?
It has some of the, first of all, it's chain of custodies, right? So it was in the hands of the Costa Rican government. The cartographers responsible for taking the photographs were trained at Fort Clayton in Panama, which is a U.S. training facility. And these are highly trained cartographers. And one of the most unique things about this photo is that it's looking down on it. So it's from a plane flying at 10,000 feet, and it's taking photographs of the landscape for building maps. So this is a highly specialized cartographic camera used essentially, you know, being like the Google Maps of its time. So after World War II, the United States wanted to map all of Latin America. The first country it completed was Cuba. The only country in South America to say no was Argentina. And so as part of this like mapping expedition and attempt to map Latin America, there was this one one photo on frame 300. It wasn't on frame 299 and it wasn't on frame 301. It was on frame 300, and we caught this beautiful object.
Wow.
And it's captivated people for years. It's
Yeah.
been at the forefront of UFO research. It was on the cover of a famous French report called the Cote report, and that report was the French version of government officials coming forward and saying that the most likely explanation for some of these photographs and some of these cases is the extraterrestrial hypothesis.
Wow, okay. Well, it sounds like this is going to be an amazing film with a lot to learn, a lot of great personal stories. Adam, Darren, thank you guys so much for being here with us. And remember, the Cote photo documentary will be released September 4th on the 55th anniversary of that photo. You can watch it on Amazon and Apple TV. You can find more information online at cotedocumentary.com. Cote